Hi, welcome to Andrew Buckle book review of The Invaders. This is the complete collection. This is volume 1. There is also a volume 2. I don't think there's a volume 3. I'm not certain why it's not considered an epic collection, but they went for complete collection. So that's what you've got to look out for. You can see volume 1 there, and you can see Invaders. And on the back, it gives you the details of, there's got Spitfire, Union Jack. Why they put that picture? Because, of course, he's not that prominent in the story. Of course, did not exist in the Golden Age, nor did she. But there's published in the 1970s, 1940s, and you've got the Red Skull, you've got Baron Blood, Warrior Woman, you've got the U-Man, and you've got, they don't mention him, that's very strange. The main character, who turns up quite a bit, Master Man, don't mention him, you've completely forgotten about. But there's the stories there. You've got the giant size Invaders, that was the first one, Invaders 122, and then you've got the annual, Marvel Premiere 29-30, and Avengers 71. It's a great issue. I love that one. And there's the ISBN number. It's colour all the way through. Now, there's not a huge amount of extras. There's a few bits at the back, which I will show a little bit later. But let's just go through the book itself. Got this. I don't know why I didn't put the Human Torch there, but Spitfire, a character, of course, that doesn't turn up a lot in the book, but still, there's a picture of her. And then you can see all the inkers, pencilers, etc. I'm not certain if I've included the cover artists. Doesn't seem to mention that. Maybe they were the same. But the thing is, when I look at them, I quite often think some of them look definitely like Jack Kirby's work at times. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. And a couple like Gil Kane. But again, Gil Kane's not mentioned there. So I guess it wasn't. But still, who knows? First one, Giant Size Invaders. I bought all these issues when they came out. I stopped around about issue 24, 25. So it was a couple of issues after this. I remember it being, maybe it wasn't even that, the Thor one. I think the Thor one was my last issue. I really enjoyed it still. But for some weird reason, quite often, suddenly other comics would take over and you could only buy so many things. So, Giant Size Invaders. I love these giant size ones. Giant size were always great. And also the annuals, of course, as well. But there you got Hitler. Now, Hitler turns up a bit, but not a vast amount in the story. But you've got the characters, obviously, there to give you a clue what's going to happen. And with special thanks from John Romita. To John Romita, even. And you've got Captain America. A captain called America. And you've got the initial battle action there. And it goes back to his origin. Now, the other characters don't particularly get much of an origin bit there. But Captain America does, because it's important, the story, because the character, the main villain of the story, is Master Man. Instead of calling him Captain Germany or something, maybe they probably wouldn't have wanted to do that one, or Captain Nazi or something. That's a character already exists. I'm certain someone called someone Captain Nazi. Captain Axis probably already exists. Maybe Master Man was obviously I think you've got this other character. You've got also the Brain, or the Siphon. Bring on the Siphon, as it says there. Brain drain, that sort of stuff. Great character. But Master Man, well, he's in the first thing, and I'm not going to spoil the story. Don't want to spoil story. Spoilers, you're not going to have that. Of course, you've got Churchill as well. Churchill, he's the person that suggests it. I must admit, the Invaders, that is. They didn't turn around and say, oh, what about the all-winner squad? No, that's not going to work. That's already been done before. But we got the Invaders. Also, you get this lovely article by Roy Thomas. I love this. They include this quite a few places. This, obviously, Roy Thomas stuff. And in many ways, I wish they had done it all the way through, included those. Because I think Roy Thomas I just always enjoy reading them. I think essays in any of these sort of books are just great. One of the reasons I love buying like Ed Brubaker books is he always has an essay in the comic book or in various books. And they're just great. I love that Submariner. He's obviously got a instant shower. Good old, very helpful that. And they got another one. So you've got another great article there. And then we've also got, of course, the Valkyrie and the Wagner and all that sort of stuff. It's quite good. Twilight of the Star Gods. And also The Ring. Valkyrie Rising. First, I must admit, when I first saw it, I assumed that was Venus, but it's not, obviously. But that was my first impression. Oh, here's the brain drain, or whatever his name was. Good Lord! Or is he not? No, he's not. Whatever his character is. Silence, because he got this ring. Yeah. Very silly story. But at the same, huge meteorite, of course. And then, of course, he's got these various these characters. It's still a good yarn. Next story. Captain America, this is issue 3. Buy war bonds. I think they included that quite a lot. The buy war bonds. Blockbusting battle issue. You can't beat that, can you? Blitzkrieg at Bermuda. And, of course, as always, they always end up fighting each other. The Invaders quite often, they were worse than the Defenders. Defenders quite often ended up, Hulk would be falling out with everyone. But in this case, it was always, there's some great little scenes. Now, that character there, it reminds me, I'm not going to say this, but just thinking, you man. Now, why didn't they go for Atoma? Possible they could have gone for Atoma, but actually, that's one thing that they didn't do with Dean, Bessie Dean. They didn't include. I would have thought they could have used her a little bit more all the way through the back. That would have been nice, but they didn't. Maybe they did in the later stories. I don't know. And actually, one thing I was just looking at the Omnibus collection. The Omnibus collection looks quite good. There is a Volume 1 Invaders Omnibus, and I should have got that maybe, but I didn't. I got this instead. Maybe I might just go for the Omnibus as well. But you got the Red Skull. But I think most of the best stories were in this one, complete collection. But there's probably going to be some great stories that are also included in that omnibus as well. This one's a great story. Because of Red Skull, they introduced this, another group, the Liberty Legion. Sadly, it didn't really do anything. I don't know. Maybe they did, but I only recall them ever being in 2 books. They might have been in more. But it does have, obviously, these characters like the Wizard, Miss America, Patriot, etc., Red Raven, did appear in the Golden Age comics, though Red Raven was a very minor character. But some of these other ones, I mean, I think, like him, I mean, Blue Diamond, I think that was his name, big diamond on there, he's blue, so it probably was Blue Diamond, and Jack Frost. I think they only had about 1 or 2 comics at most anyway. Quite often they just had, obviously their sales figures weren't great, that was it. Oh, I don't like that. Or maybe, I don't know if that was the reason or not. I mean, I don't know how they would know after 2 issues that maybe they would have brought them back if they'd been successful. Suddenly, Martin Goodman would have seen a massive spike in that sales for that comic. He would have said, oh, I wonder if it was, how would you know? Unless they got letters, I suppose, coming through saying, this is brilliant, bring back Jack Frost, bring back the Iceman or something. They could have called him that and then he would have had Iceman. Now, that, in a sense, is probably the origin, of course, of the X-Men's characters. A lot of the characters, of course, back then were like that. You had Angel, you had, obviously, Jack Frost. You didn't have a Marvel girl, unless you had Miss Marvel. No, that was another full set, of course. But still, Liberty Legion there, you got there. And they're battling, of course. There's always this usual, whenever you got groups together, you always have to have a battle between them because there's confusion. Why they don't talk to each other, who knows? But still. And also, yet another great article. Now, they don't include the letter pages. They do include these. Marvel value stamps. Love those. Never cut those out. Luckily. But the thing is, I suppose some people did. I don't even know what they were for, to be honest. And I'm going to find out because tomorrow, hopefully, I've got in the post at the moment, Marvel value stamps from Abraham's Comics Art. I think that's what they're called. But they're just that book I've been waiting for ages. About 384 pages. I think it's going to be very, very tiny. I'm assuming it's going to be very tiny because it's reasonably priced. I don't think the proportion, the size is that great. Dimensions. I might be wrong. Maybe I will be doing a review of it. I'm really looking forward to that because I love looking at those stamps. There were some great little stamps. Even if I never actually worked out what they were for. Did people put them in sticker albums or something? I don't know. You got all the characters there. All out for victory. That sort of stuff. You always have to have that, don't you? All out for victory. Also, they introduced another set, which they didn't really do anything with. You had Union Jack character. He's Union Jack. He was from the First World War. Of course, timely comics were not around in the First World War. If they had been around, it would have been a pulp comic, pulp book. You would have obviously the stories would have been obviously real thick sort of pulp stories, which would have been great, I'm quite certain. But I don't think they ever did superhero sort of those sort of things. That would have been great, wouldn't it? If someone had thought, you know what, let's do a superheroes as a pulp story. Still, but you got there the Phantom Eagle, Black Knight, I assume. I don't know. No, apparently he's called Sir Steel, apparently, maybe. Oh, and the Silver Squire. Sort of looks a bit like the, no, a certain, 7 Soldiers? No. There is a resemblance to, anyway. Phantom Eagle. No, I don't think Phantom Eagle is any character. What do I know about these things? Union Jack. Great character. Now, Captain Britain, of course, a bit later, but Union Jack, why? They should have done more of these. I don't know why they didn't bring out a massive. There should be an omnibus collection now of those characters. Should have been contenders. Now, one thing they did quite often, they didn't include all the stories. So if you come into this expecting to get everything. Now, I don't know if the omnibus edition corrects that and includes the stories. Please put in the comments below if you know of that. I love the Baron Blood story. Oh, I'm not going to show that bit. Let's just turn that around. But you've got this Invaders one. That's number 10. I don't want to show that because you can see the end of the story, which is a spoiler. But this one, The Wrath of the Reaper. And they include, obviously, briefly, this. Captain America battles the Reaper. And he sort of goes back into a sort of misty, remembering the sort of the battle, obviously the comic book. And this was from Captain America number 22. And you can find that in the Omnibus collection, I think, Volume 2, as well as in the Marvel Masterworks, Golden Age, Captain America Volume 6, which it handily puts there. But I've got it in the Omnibus collection. And you've got the Blue Bullet. Actually, probably one of the weaker characters. One of the worst sort of non-story, as far as I'm concerned, in the book. However, we go on then to... there's another one that's not bad. Could have been slightly better. I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something different. I'm not going to say no. It was fine. It was fine. Then we got this one. Another group. See, they introduced this. Make way for the Crusaders. Stand aside, Yanks. Now, then, all these characters here were all ones. It's just odd that. I don't know why they did so many, introducing so many things, but not actually following them up. They could have followed up a lot of these things. Now, there was a reason with this group, but that's slightly different. But it was just a pity. They introduced all these characters, and you can see this character, Ghost Girl, actually quite good. Why not? They should have continued on with those characters. This one's an odd one. This is the Invaders Annual. And you can see there, all new 50 cents. I love that. When it came out, I remember getting that. OK Atlas, here we come. A bit like first issue there. But still, the thing is, they did it in style, or attempted to anyway. The Submariner wasn't so much so. But this one, Human Torch, I love that because it sort of like gave it that sort of that period, 1940s, 1950s, because the artwork's Alex Schumberg, which is really nice to see. And also the Captain America one there. You've got the Captain America one. And it's very, very much in the style 1950s ones, the old Atlas comics. Now, the Submariner one wasn't so great. But what it did include, they had the story that is finished off later, the Avengers number 71. But they had the Avengers appearing. I always felt that could have done even better with that. If they had the other characters and maybe had more than that. I think 3 against 3 was never really, for me, particularly great, but it still was good. But it always happens. Again, any superhero group meets up, there's always a battle. Then you've got Master Man back again. Master Man, and then Warrior Woman. And also you've got Major Victory. Got obviously a comic there showing Major Victory. There is a reason for that as well. Also, you've got, let's go move on from that story. Well, that wasn't that great story, that bit. Oh, that was quite good as well. They introduced another character, the Destroyer. Was it the Destroyer? Yes, there's the Destroyer. There's the Destroyer character. That was a thing. I don't know if they continued with that. I can't recall because I didn't read all those later stories. Maybe other old Golden Age ones, like Vision. Maybe they returned. I don't know. Maybe some of the Sun Girl, maybe she turned up. Asbestos Lady, I know, probably not. There were loads of others. Why not quickly look on the back of this list? You got the Blazing Skull. Maybe they could have brought him back. Unless he was dead or something. Who knows? The Witness. No, they could have had him. The Falcon. Black Widow. Ferret. Laughing Mask. All those sort of characters. Those ones, some of those turned up in, of course, in the 12. I love that book. That was a great, great read. And is that Jonah Jameson? Looks like him anyway. No, it's the Professor. But still, on to the final story, and you've got the classic Avengers. Number 71. Actually, there's also a lovely romantic run that goes through this story, which is quite nice. I really think it's a very, very good little story there. Still, on to the Avengers. And this is just a great one. Just an absolute classic. Of course, you've got Kang there as well. And I love that. Dr. Spectrum. That was the storyline, obviously, Hyper and all those characters. But then we get the good old back fighting the... And of course, you've got the lovely... That shield. I don't know what happened to that shield. Maybe there's some expert, please put in the comments below. Is there what happened to it? Did he just sort of put it into a museum or something? Is there sort of not really aware? Maybe the characters. No, I'm not even going to speculate because I have no idea what happened to that. But Kang, of course, great character, and turns up many times later. And also you've got some extras behind the scenes. Can't be behind the scenes. I think behind the scenes are always great. And you've got the covers there. Now, I don't know how many variations there were. Obviously looking at the cover there to see slight changes of different things. Well, Bucky's obviously slightly moved around different positions. The final one. And also there you've got the giant size Invaders one as well. So what does it say? Oh, someone said and misinterpreted the Robin's foreground fortress walls. And there's others ones as well, all the way through this as well. And on the final one is, of course, the usual good old Marvel Super Action. I love those ones. Giant size Avengers / Invaders. That was 2008, June 1981. I remember buying that one. Don't know why, because I actually had the Avengers number 71 as well. But still, you've also got these as well, Marvel First. They were great series. So that's the Invaders. I really like this collection. I don't know why I didn't buy it. It's been out for ages, 2014. 9 years old. 9 years old. And quite often, I've had people put comments saying, what about the Invaders? And I've been going, oh, there's no Epic collection. There's no Epic collection. That's strange, no Epic collection. Then I went and looked, and there's a complete collection. Ho hum. You can't always buy everything, can you? Sometimes you just miss it, and it's the same with lots of other series, I guess. But still, I thoroughly enjoy getting this. And if you can find a copy, I found this, I think this is about £10. I was really pleased, found it, nice cheap copy. Very good selection of stories. Not, there's one or two bad ones, or average ones. No bad ones, but certainly average. Most of them are really good. So, The Invaders, complete collection, volume 1, totally recommended.